Alright, so let's go through the further trigo notes, and especially the first part of this video will be called additional formula. So what is additional formula? So first thing first, when we are doing our normal trigo, we are only dealing with one angle, right? So normally we call this angle A. So let's just say sine A is equal to 3/5. What is our cosine A? What is our tangent A? But for our additional formula, we are dealing with two types of different angle. Alright, so the second angle, let's call this angle B. Okay, so there are two different types of angle. So first thing first, we need to know three formula. So for the additional formula, you will be given in the formula sheet, but I think it's good to memorize it, because when you memorize it, then you will know how to use it, right? And additionally, it's a bit it's very time saving or if you memorize it. Okay, the first formula will be sine. So if I have sine A plus B bracket, so sine A plus B bracket is equal to sine A, okay, cosine B. So since this is sine, right, we follow the sine also. So this is plus, this will be plus. Okay, so they are the same sign. So next will be sine B cosine A. So I would like to memorize it like SC. Then after that, S plus SC. So the S, both the sign must have the sine A and sine B. So the first will be sine A first, then after that second will be sine B. So they must have both the angle. Alright, so SC plus SC. Of course, if you have a minus counterpart, you just follow. So sine A minus B, you just put sine A cosine B minus sine B cosine A. So that will be how we memorize it. Okay, the second will be cosine. So cosine A plus B bracket. So the first thing will be cosine A cosine B. So CC, right? C. Okay. So whenever we have cosine, right? Since we have plus here, we don't follow. We just put minus. We do the opposite. Minus SS. So sine A, sine B. Right? So of course, if you have a minus counterpart, you just follow throughout. I mean, you also just make it plus here. Alright? Okay, the third will be tangent. So tangent will be in terms of fraction. So let's just say I have tangent A plus B bracket. So the top numerator and there's a bottom denominator. So for the top, you just follow, just copy wholesale. So it means that tangent A plus tangent B. Right? And after that, the denominator, you put 1 minus, because this is plus, right? So you must put minus here. Then tangent A, tangent B. Okay? Alright, so this is how we, these are the three formula. Okay, so let's do one example. So this is a very commonly asked question. So this example is testing us to solve trigo problem using ASDC also. Alright, so I believe you have seen this type of question before from the previous trigo notes. Okay, so from the previous trigo notes, let me just go back to do a very quick recap. So this is an example. So given that sine A equal to -3/5 and the angle A is from 0 to 270, find the value of cosine A and tangent A without using a calculator. So always remember, for this type of question, first thing first, we always determine which quadrant are we interested in. For this right, we are interested in the third quadrant. Okay, then after that we draw the triangle. So example, let's just say I draw the angle, right? So this is the angle. So I draw a right angle triangle. So this is -3/5. Of course, the angle A will be from here to here. But doesn't matter, right? Because our angle, our sine A is equal to the alpha, the sine of the so-called the basic angle. So we can simply just focus our attention on this right angle triangle. Alright. So for our further trigo, things are not so straightforward, but it's very similar. Just that we need to draw two different angles, right? So example, given that sine A equal to 3/5, so this is the first angle, sine A, right? Okay, and sine B equal to 5/13 Find, using without calculator, the value of sine A plus B, cosine A plus B, and tangent A plus B if A and B are both a cube. This one is rather straightforward example because they already tell me that this is a cube. A cube means less than 90 degree. So if this is not less than 90 degree, definitely you must be in the first quadrant. Right? So let's draw the sine A and sine B respectively. Okay, so this is sine A. So I draw the sine A first lah. So angle sine A is this. Okay, so since sine is so right, opposite over hypotenuse, they tell me that this is 3 over 5. So 3 over 5 here, this is your oppo, this is your hypo. Alright, so 3 over 5, let's put the 3 and let's put the 5 here. Okay, so you can see they always like to give us the Pythagorean triplets. It's either 3, 4, 5 or 5, 12, 13. Okay, it's easy to calculate in that sense. Okay, so let's determine our adjacent. So this is simple, so just put 4 here. So I have determined all the 3 sides already, right? Okay, now I draw the angle B. So angle B is also out in our first quadrant. So let's put the angle B. So angle B, you can see that it is it's 5 over 13, right? So this is your oppo, this is your hypo. So 5 and 13, so let's put down the 5 and 13. So 5, 13, so this will be 12. Okay, so first thing first, let's determine what do we need to find? We need to find our sine A plus B. So sine A plus B, we need to, first thing first, remember or recap our formula. So sine A plus B, you just simply put so it's SC plus SC because it's plus, right? We just follow through. So SC, okay, then after that you put a plus here, then you put S. So now this sine must have angle B here. So cosine A. Okay, so now let's determine what we need. So we want sine A, right? Sine A we already have because they already give us, right? So sine A is 3 over 5. Okay, what about cosine B? Cosine B, we need to look at angle B. We don't look at angle A because angle A and angle B are two different angles, although they are a cube. So let's just say angle A is 30 degree, angle B maybe is 45 degree. So they are two different types of angle. So we need to look at the corresponding angle. So cosine B, we look at the angle B, right? So cosine B, we just determine our adjacent divided by hypotenuse, right? So 12 over 13. Okay, next, let's determine our sine B. So sine B, same thing. I need to look at our angle B. So actually, they also give us already. So it's 5 over 13. Okay, cosine A, I look at angle A. So cosine A, you just put 4 over 5. Right, then after that, the last step, you just need to calculate, right? So this is a very straightforward example. Okay, so the first is your 36 over 65. Then after that, you put a plus. So the second fraction will be 4 over 13. So the final answer will be 56 over 65. So this is the first answer. Okay, let's move on to the second thing that we need to find, which is cosine A plus B. Okay, so cosine A plus B, first thing first, remember your formula, CC, right? So CC, and after that, because this is cosine, cosine you always remember that we don't follow the sign. So C minus SS. Okay, so of course, cosine A I already have already, right? Everything we have already, right? So cosine A is 4 over 5. Okay, cosine B is 12 over 13. Then sine A is 3 over 5. Sine B is 5 over 13. So, so the first will be 8 over 65 plus 15 over 65. So you should get 63 over 65. Alright? Okay. Now the final thing that we need to find is your tangent A plus B, right? Okay, so tangent A plus B, also we need to memorize the formula. So there's a numerator and a denominator. So numerator copy wholesale, tangent A plus tangent B. Alright, after that there's a denominator counterpart. You just put a 1 first. Then after that, since this is plus, then you do the opposite, minus tangent A tangent B. Okay, so after writing down the formula, then we determine what is your tangent A and what is your tangent B respectively. So let's go back to our angle. So tangent, right? So okay, first thing first, I want to find tangent A. So tangent A, I need to look at angle A right here. So tangent is opposite divided by hypo. So 3/4. Right? So tangent A is equal to 3/4. Okay, next I want to find tangent B. So tangent B, I need to look at angle B here. So you should get 5 over 12. Right? So 3/4 and 5 over 12 respectively. Okay, so you should get a roughly 1, 2, 3, 33. Okay, so this is how we do our our solving of trigo using ASTC regarding the double and the additional formula.